All right, another week of football almost done, and it's another week where, what's the point? Everything I feel like I predicted was wrong. I don't get these teams. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, that whole era.
Below 500.
Washed, in my opinion. That whole era, they're gone. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers were the last ones left. They stink. They blow. On to the new ones. I don't know. This week was just...
Fun fact, P.J. Walker and Taylor Heineke were both in the XFL a few years ago, and they both beat Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers this week.
That's awesome. That's pretty crazy.
So good for them.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, what? The Thursday game was Saints Cardinals.
Yeah.
Two pick sixes is what really gave the Cardinals the lead with that one.
Yeah. Cardinals tried to give that game away, too.
They tried to. Yeah, they put their foot off the gas probably, but I still don't think too highly of them. I'm not going to lie. I mean...
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
Or Saints? No, I don't think highly of either of those.
Because the Saints blow, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The
Cardinals just can't put it together. Even with Hopkins there, it seemed like they still just had puzzle pieces that were missing. They still seemed like they were kind of, I don't know, at times distraught, and they didn't know what to do with the football, even against, the New Orleans Saints, which, again, isn't a great team this season. Their defense is pretty good, so, of course, that kind of gives a little bit of a rattle to the offense. But, I don't know, it just seems like the Cardinals, for the players that they have, should be a better team than they are. But you could say the same thing for the Saints with all the star players that they have on their team.
Yeah, Saints are in a debacle, in my opinion. They're a quarterback away, I think.
It's the thing where they were saying, oh, it's Jameis Winston, but now we've seen with Andy Dalton they lost. Mm-hmm. So it's obviously...
Andy Dalton's old as heck.
Right.
What do you really expect to get from him?
Browns-Ravens, 20-23, closer game.
Yeah, but again, the Ravens, 10-point lead. They almost blow it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am starting to doubt them a little bit.
It's these teams where they just take the foot off the gas, and we've seen it this season. We've seen it last season.
Why they do? It's a 10-point lead.
I don't get it either.
It's not like they're dominating them.
Because teams just keep crawling back. But then again, the Ravens did win this game, so they probably look at that and be like, "Hey, we took our foot off the gas, but we still won." So
I still like them to win the division, but man, I need to see them have a good win again.
Speaking of good wins, Panthers versus the Bucs. Now, this is like a game I can't even say like I told you so or anything. I did not expect the Panthers to win this game at all. Nobody did.
The Bucs stink.
I am now on the train that the Bucs do stink.
Yeah.
To get beat by the Steelers and the Panthers, which arguably bottom 32 teams. Yeah. The Panthers get rid of Christian McCaffrey. They're waving the white flag. They're saying we give up, and they beat them 21-3.
Yeah, well, that just shows again that the players aren't giving up. The head office guys might be giving up. They might be giving away to all the players and stuff, but the team's not going to give up. And I don't know what's going on with this Buccaneers team. I mean, clearly Tom Brady's going through some stuff, and of course, like I said, personal life definitely impacts your game, but after the games and stuff, he's giving interviews where he's like, yeah, I don't see any retirement in my future. I'm playing until I'm 50. Like, it just seems like he doesn't want to be in the game now, but he's talking about how he's going to play
for Tom Brady
for another 5 years.
I mean, Mike Evans had that dropped touchdown.
Oh,
really
they had
bad.
multiple.
Not
drops.
even saying they would have won if he got that, because they put up no points really after that. So
that game just didn't make any sense to me. Like the Panthers they didn't even have J.C. Horn out there. Like they just had nobody. They had nobody against the Bucs team.
That was really bad.
That makes no sense.
Panthers back in that division now. The Buccaneers are probably still going to win the division now. I mean,
I'm not
Saints, y'all freaking suck.
I still think the Falcons.
I mean, okay, yeah, Falcons definitely have a chance. The Falcons didn't look good at all, though. To be honest,
Falcons.
We'll talk about it once we get there.
Because we're about to get there.
35-17.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So unfortunately, we didn't have a defense this entire game. AJ Terrell went out literally in the very first quarter with a hamstring injury. So let me show you our injury report. I screenshotted it.
Joe Burrow had like 350 yards in one.
Yeah. That's insane. That is insane.
Yeah. So this is our defensive backs that were out. So Casey Hayward was out. D. Elford was out. AJ Terrell was out. Mike Ford Jr. was out, and Jalen Hawkins was out. So those were all of our players that were back there that we did not have playing in the game. And again, against that offense of the Cincinnati Bengals, where it's Jamar Chase, where it's Higgins, where it's Boyd, where it's Mixon, you can't have third or fourth string people in there and expect to win. There were some plays where I was like, are you serious, guys? Specifically with Marcus Mariota, where it looked like he had no running lane whatsoever, but he just decided to take off into three defenders and absolutely get obliterated. So I don't know. I last week, Marcus Mariota was NFC Offensive Player of the Week. This week, he looked like he was what he is, and that's a washed-up quarterback. So I kind of want to get Desmond Ridder in there. I want to see kind of what he does, but I don't put this game all on Marcus. we just didn't have a defense. And again, against that offense of the Bengals, there's nothing we could do to stop it. That's why Joe Burrow had the amount of yards that he had and why he had the touchdowns that he had.
Then we had the Lions-Cowboys game, which it was off to a slow start. Yeah, it was a real slow start, but
I was almost
24-6.
exactly correct with the score.
What'd you say it was?
24-10 or something like that. And what was the final score?
24-6.
Yeah. I was kind of 4 points off.
So Dallas is now 5-2.
Are the Lions the worst team in the NFL, or is it the Texans? Is it the Texans?
You know what?
I don't
know. The Texans play good game. Damian Pierce is really good. I think he's actually going to get Rookie of the Year with Breece Hall tearing his ACL possibly.
I think so too.
So I don't know. It's tough. The Texans have a better defense.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that's much because the Lions have no defense. I'm not saying the Texans have a great defense by any means.
It's just so crazy because, again, Detroit was putting up all these points in the first, 2 weeks.
Right.
And then they've just done nothing. Literally nothing with the entire
first few weeks. They just didn't make sense at all.
No.
Yeah.
This is a bad team.
I would say the Lions are worse than the Texans, actually. It's close.
That's a tough one. I wonder if they play.
And Williams is coming back in 2 weeks, so I kind of want to see what their offense does with that. But I don't think one rookie is going to change their whole offense. I just don't think.
The thing about the Texans, I feel like they don't turn the ball over that much. Yeah, they're still losing, but dude, yesterday Jared Goff had 4 turnovers alone. I think a few fumbles, few picks. Yeah, they stink. Yeah, this first few weeks, really. You want to talk about a fluke? That's fluke of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of flukes, we got the fraud Giants versus the Jaguars.
Oh, boy.
23-17. The Giants are now 6-1,
That was a
Tom.
close game.
How do you feel about that?
Not surprised the Giants won. I picked the Jaguars, but hey, Jaguars and Giants, similar skill level. I'm going to stick with it.
The only thing I do have to say about that is when it comes to the Chargers, the Jags and the Chargers did play each other, and the Jags stomped on them.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to say it now. Chargers, y'all freaking suck.
Wow, there it is.
Suck. Y'all disappoint me more than anybody.
Yep.
They disappoint me more than anybody.
Yep.
They have so many stars on defense. I don't care if J.C. Jackson's out. I don't care if Joey Bosa's out. That is just disgusting.
So
they
Seahawks
can't stop anything.
Seahawks beat
they
them
literally can't.
37-23. That was the
They
score
were
of the
down
game.
17-0, I think, off the get-go, man. Herbert threw a pick, fumbled it. Yeah, J.C. Jackson, dude. Even before he got hurt, Goodwin was just burning the heck out of him.
Yeah.
Back to the Giants game. I'll give them credit in the fourth quarter. They just always seem to pull through in the fourth quarter, which is a pretty nice trait to have. Being on the positive end of it. They seem like they're on the positive end of it every single time. So
it was definitely
definitely
Saquon. I'll say that. He really
Interesting is the Giants play the Seahawks next week, who beat the Chargers. So and the Chargers are on a bye week, so. But that's interesting just to see, how that game
Kenneth
turns
Walker
out.
is looking really good.
He's looking really good.
So, I don't know. I don't know who's going to win that game. We'll see.
Then we got Colts-Titans. Titans won 19-10.
I picked
the series.
Why would I pick the Colts? You know what I mean? Just why? I don't know. They blow.
Colts are not good. Even with Jonathan Taylor back, it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't.
It
because
doesn't
again,
make sense, man.
How
Matt
stacked
Ryan
they were
had
last
the
year.
dumbest looking pick six. It just they blow.
All right. Are you off the Colts then?
I was never on the Colts. I just thought that they could beat the Titans one time. I don't know because I'm not big on the Titans either.
Yeah. So what's Jacksonville's record?
3-3-1.
3-3-1 Okay. All right. So
Which it's not the worst.
They're not out of it. I was going to say it looks like the Titans are running away with this division, but I mean Jacksonville's kind of in there, I guess.
Speaking of teams that suck, the Commanders and Packers, 23-21.
The Packers suck.
Packers lost.
Packers, you guys suck, man.
But the Commanders suck too, though, is the thing.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz sucks.
Packers offense.
And that's why they won, because he wasn't in.
Taylor Heineke came in, and again, he got them the win against the Packers, and the Packers are a very beat-up team, and it's just weird to see them this way because I want to keep picking them, but they've literally shown me zero reason to keep picking them. Even their defense, which is a good defense, isn't doing what they need to do. I think, were they the only people that got points for them this game? How many points did they
No,
score?
Rodgers had 2 touchdowns.
Okay, I was going to say, I seen they had 1 pick six, but again, that's the only thing I've seen their defense really do. And
They suck, man.
Terry McLaurin looked really good this game. He looked really good this game. Which, I mean, is he a top 10 wide receiver?
No.
I feel like he has
good.
the talent. It's just he doesn't have the stats to back it up.
I would love to see a list. I'm not going to say no right off the bat.
he's going to be one of those players that gets traded, and you really see what he is.
Right.
He either
Well, they
becomes
signed him to a
really good.
contract like they wanted to keep
Last
him,
year,
so.
yeah.
But we know that doesn't mean anything in the NFL.
I mean, yeah, you're right. The one thing I want to take away from the Buccaneers and the Packers is
Commanders.
No, I'm not talking about the matchup.
The
way that I seen Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers just blow up. I feel like the whole team has to at least look up to them the most or respect them the most.
Yeah.
And to see them down and frustrated, that has to kill the whole team off.
I bet it does.
And we've seen this happen multiple
I knew that was
weeks.
going to happen with Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, it's been happening.
Yeah.
We know that, but for a player of their caliber, top of the league, been at the top of the league for as long as they've been,
Aaron
seeing
Rodgers
them
came out with in a black robe in his post game interview. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Just seeing them like they have been, like on the sideline or after passes, just got to bring the whole team down.
You're right,
not helping their cause whatsoever. I know they're frustrated, but like as a
so
team
when you're
leader
winning for 2 decades in the regular season at least, like, and this happens, that has to.
Well, that's the thing, because like you mentioned, if you see them giving up on the sidelines, like you're like, oh, it's over, game's over. We're not going to win this.
That's what I've seen.
Truthfully,
that's what I have been seeing.
Yeah. Well, you look at Aaron Rodgers, who was just face down in the turf.
That was so
in the fourth quarter. He just, again, he was like, what the F is going on? Like, he just doesn't have answers. Yeah, he doesn't seem like he even wants to be in it either. It seems like once they get down and out in these games, which it does get frustrating, but like you said, if you give up, you're guaranteed to lose. If you keep that fight inside you, and if you say, hey, we're a good team, we could do this, give a little motivation to your team, they're going to be much more inclined to go out there and try to dive for a pick six or dive for a catch or something like this, or push off that extra
Rodgers
defender.
just say that against the Bills, he's like, maybe this is what we need. Everyone started doubting us. And I said,
Yeah.
no.
A game you could not convince me that the Jets would win in the offseason. Jets and Broncos. You would have told me in the offseason that the Jets were going to beat the Broncos this year. I would have said no way.
The Broncos just aren't there, man, and that's why I went with the Jets.
I wish I could say it's because Russ didn't play, but Russ sucks too. So
yeah, they're just not there. And again, you've seen mistakes made by who's their quarterback that came in?
I don't even know.
Brett Ripon or something.
A rookie, or maybe it's his second year.
Ripon came in and
Ripon.
And again, he just had more and more interceptions. That team is just not the team that we expected them to be, and maybe it's going to take time. But again, they're talking about shopping Jerry Jeudy potentially, and it's just crazy to think that they're talking about just tearing that team apart whenever they just paid Russ and gave him the extension all in one season.
Sauce is balling out though. There were 0 completions against him, against like Sutton and stuff, dude. He's freaking playing crazy.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing. I think he might get Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's playing lights out past few weeks.
Okay. All right.
So are the Jets legit? Are the Jets
5-2? They're 5-2.
Are they fighting for this division? That's
Brees Hall just tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if that's confirmed.
I don't know if
what they
it's
were leaning
confirmed
towards.
I like the Jets more than Giants personally.
I don't. But I'm not saying they're more respectable. Yeah.
It's just crazy to think again. Like the Jets are in there. The Dolphins are kind of in there at this point. The Bills are in there. Like that's a crazy division right there. Patriots aren't even really out of it. I don't think.
Yeah, they play tonight. Yeah. I mean, if they
they're
win,
all
they'll be 4-3.
as long as the Patriots win today.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's
are they
a
a
tough
top
one.
10 team now?
That's the thing. You can't put Packers up there. Can't put Bucks up there.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I really don't know. 49ers, I mean, them too. What's the next game? Is that the next one?
No, Texans, Raiders, 38-10. Raiders finally got their second win.
38-20.
38-20.
It was actually pretty ugly in the beginning for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Again, and then they just pulled it out. There were so many interceptions and pick sixes this week from teams that really helped decide games. Just mistakes from the quarterback's perspective. That happened this game. I'm pretty sure I seen a pick six.
Davis Mills had. There's only one pick, so that was the one.
Josh Jacobs had 3 touchdowns.
Oh,
so
he's actually
big game from him.
him.
Yeah.
Good year.
Yeah.
Very good year.
I'll tell you what. I don't get it, but good for you, Josh Jacobs. I don't get it.
He might be.
You don't like him?
I thought he sucked.
I don't know if more people are worried about the deep threat with Devontae Adams now, so it frees up the lanes for him to kind of have more running room. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it either. Or again, last year was kind of their main focus was Josh Jacobs, so maybe that's why he didn't really perform too much last year.
Not even just last. He was just kind of inconsistent to me. The past, like he had yards, but he just never seemed like that dude to really stand out. I don't know. I'm shocked. I'm cool with it, but I'm shocked by it.
Seahawks 37, Chargers 23. We kind of talked about that already. Chargers,
they stink.
Kind of stink. Kind of
They do. That was a bad loss right there.
It's disappointing because, again, coming into this, Chargers were my team. Chargers were the AFC team. I thought they were going to the Super Bowl. I was excited for them. They had such a good team build up. We were talking about how they could be the best team in the NFL coming into the season. And, again, it's just nothing but disappointment the entire season.
Yeah.
I can still see them turning around, but it's not going to be until Joey Bosa gets there. But until then, y'all freaking suck.
That's not till like
Seahawks are so the Seahawks might be my most surprising team of the year.
Really?
Actually, with how they
More than the Jets? Or you looked at the draft and kind of like, okay.
Yeah,
no, I'm
Seahawks
saying
were
from my
rebuild
expectations.
mode, man.
First off, to see how good that their offense is with Geno freaking Smith.
Well, Kenneth Walker had
Yeah.
168.
Yeah,
yards
Kenneth
yesterday.
Walker is
Did we ever figure out what
fantastic.
DK Metcalf left with?
Poop.
I don't know.
Because
No, I don't
he
know.
didn't come back. I don't know if
J.C.
that's,
Jackson dislocated his knee, which
Yeah, I've
is
seen that.
disgusting.
Ew.
I don't know if that's a serious injury for DK Metcalf or not.
Did Mike Williams go with an injury? He had an
He did, but I don't know
insane
if he came-
ankle
yeah,
injury
I don't know if he
play.
came back
You
in
could
or
see it
not.
just twisting. Ugh.
Yeah, he didn't come back in that game, I don't think. But they had Keenan Allen back too that game.
They just swap in and out.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Chiefs 49ers 44-23. Chiefs won.
Those Chiefs
Yeah.
are just something else, dude.
They're good, man.
Every
Dude.
week, I swear. How they lost to the Colts, I'll never understand.
There was literally a play where it was 3rd and 20, and Joe goes.
I know.
Joe just looked at me, and I'm like, they're gonna get it. Screen past, I think McCool Hardman or something. They literally got it. It was insane. Like that's the only team where it could be 3rd and 20, and I'm like, they're gonna get it. Honestly.
After that play, the game was over.
Yeah.
That was it right there. It was like a 1-point game at that point.
It was
Yeah.
crazy because they
Like,
were
that
so
was over.
shocked because Andy Reid settled for a field goal at the end of the half, I think, and they were like, "What are they doing?" Because they never do that. Because they still had time. They could have still kind of took a deep ball to the end zone, but they just settled for a field goal.
Patrick Mahomes with a 423-yard game, and McCool Hardman had 3 touchdowns.
Juju got a touchdown, too.
He was the
Everyone got a touchdown.
first wide receiver to get 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown, which is weird.
Dude, that team. Nick
Really?
Bosa was playing, dude. They were all
Mhm.
playing
Wait,
40.
say that again?
He's the first wide receiver to get 2 rushing touchdowns
Two
and 1
rushing
receiving
touchdowns.
touchdown in a game.
It's kind of surprising Debo didn't have that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
if there's any other player.
Oh, yeah.
I'd
yeah.
take
And
him.
Jimmy G. He looked pretty bad.
Safety again.
That's safety.
Safety
He
again.
got freaking destroyed. And he threw a pick. Hey, I don't know.
So what are your thoughts on the 49ers now, Tom? Because are they your Super Bowl pick or no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still sticking with them. I mean, it doesn't matter anymore, but I thought they're way better off with Trey Lance. But I feel like the team around him's still fine. That was just, I even said before, I thought they kind of got overhyped with Christian McCaffrey coming in this game. I expected the Chiefs to kind of win. I thought it'd be closer. I mean, it was for a while, but
Yeah.
I mean, the NFC is just so weak. Like, I
Where-
think they'll be all right.
So if the Chargers and 49ers played, who would you have win in that game?
49ers.
Because I will say the 49ers are 3-4 and the Chargers are 4-3.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother you.
Yeah,
All right.
49ers.
Then the last game was the Steelers and Dolphins, 10-16.
Oh, Kenny.
Steelers lost. This was the first game I said where I thought Kenny Pickett looked bad.
Yeah, he did.
Missing passes.
It's on it. Yeah, this is on him, man.
Yeah,
They're gonna
two
say it was
picks.
they're gonna say it was raining though.
No, they're saying, I already looked at it, Matt Canada.
Matt Canada.
I do think you do need to go, dude, but I'm putting it on Kenny Pickett.
I am too.
The 2 picks he forced to Deontay Johnson were not good.
Actually, that last interception, I watched it back like 4 times. That was one of the worst throws I've seen all season by any quarterback.
There was no reason.
I
to
mean,
throw it.
actually,
The dude
he
was
didn't
he
even-
didn't even like throw it up high enough to even try to get it over the
I'll
guy.
say
He
it was
just
almost
threw
like
it
the
to him.
defender was the wide receiver.
I was going to say, it kind of looked like he was throwing it out of bounds to the defender or to no one.
Yeah.
It was like either going to
And,
go
I mean,
caught by the
mother
defender or he's
heck,
going out
He
of
could have
bounds.
just took off. He had like 20 yards ahead of him. He could have got out of bounds.
I don't know, I'm surprised though that the Dolphins didn't score more because like the reason I picked the Dolphins was because you said Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill were going to burn our secondary, and we did keep them in check.
Yeah, well,
Somewhat.
the game started out as if
Yeah.
it was going to be a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I respected the defense. They actually played great to me. You guys couldn't catch a ball. to
Oh
save
my
your
gosh,
life, but-
4 interceptions they could have had. 4, but they just dropped
Yeah, the
them.
biggest one was Sutton that dropped one before the half. It gave the Dolphins 3 points.
Man, if you think about that one, that would have been caught, all Boswell would have had to do is kick a field goal at the end there.
Yep.
It would have been going into overtime, worst case scenario.
You're right, but at the same time, it's like the
I mean,
fact
you don't know
that
how
we
the game
can't
went.
even get into
Exactly,
field goal
yeah.
range the whole second half.
They stink.
Yeah.
They stink. I'm serious, dude.
I-
If it keeps going like this, I'm fine with the Steelers taking a quarterback round 1 if they have a top like 5 or 10 pick if the guy's there.
Wow.
If it
That's
keeps
bold.
going like this, I mean, I feel like
Okay.
other people hop on board with that too. I mean, it's pretty frustrating.
I think so too.
I'm not just calling Kenny Pickett a bust right now. I'm just saying if it keeps going like this, my gosh, dude, we can't put up any points at all. We can't score touchdowns.
The other thing I kind of took away was George Pickens almost like seems like the number one guy now. Because it was like
It actually
Get a
does.
touchdown.
Deontay he had a few, or there was one drop that was pretty
Pickett's the
bad.
Number one guy. He has the most confidence. I mean, Deontay still drops passes and stuff. Man.
Still getting
It's
clamped
just-
up by Xavier Howard though. Whenever Xavier was on him,
It's just that one, like whenever it's one-on-one man and George is there, like George just
He catches.
he
dude.
catches it.
He's
Yeah.
a good.
If you get him the ball, he like that
Fantastic.
touchdown.
That's what's
was
frustrating
just
is that
like-
we have such great weapons, but yet we suck. I mean, really.
What do you because you guys are saying Green Bay may be interested in Claypool and potentially getting a first round for him after that game? Do you
that's
still
my
think?
opinion. I
Do
think.
you
that-
still think they could get a first round after that game?
All I'm saying is I don't think it's worth trading him away unless if you get a first round
Oh,
or like a
Yeah,
second.
because you don't
plus,
want
like-
to take weapons away from Kenny Pickett at the same time, so it's kind of awkward. But no.
But then Calvin Austin could step in and we
Yeah,
haven't
they're
seen
good.
him yet.
They're good at finding receivers. They'd figure it out, but I don't know.
Yeah. Tonight's game is the Bears and the Patriots. Let us know down below who you think's going to win that game.
Should be a Patriots easy win, but you never know.
I think Mac Jones is coming back. So we'll see what
If
happens.
he loses.
Bailey Zappi's in. You know?
Oh, it'd be interesting if he loses. That's all I gotta say, especially versus the Bears. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
See you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
Bye.